insurgents trying to overthrow their governments? Back then, the Afghans went crying to the Russians for help. Thanks. This pisses Reagan off so much, his boys whip up.
Operation Flashpoint Red River is the latest entry in the tactical shooter franchise. This time around, they have lightened the difficulty and given the soldiers more of a personality. Though they can be a bit generic at times, they are far better than the last game. The game starts off fantastically. I love the opening cutscene, and it's scary how close to reality it is. They go over most of the history of the Middle Eastern War. They even talk about September 11th. I like the fact that they had balls to talk about real-life events. Insurgents have been pulling out of Afghanistan and are now in Tajikistan. You are sent in to perform a counterinsurgency operation. However, when the People's Republic of China decide to intervene, things tend to get a bit messy. The story is nothing new, but it serves its purpose, and it's always fun blowing terrorist scum away. The banter between the soldiers is at times pretty laughable, very college schoolboy stuff.
IED will fuck your world up faster than tequila shots with a tranny and TJ. IEDs, snipers, insurgents, samplings. You want to get the fuck out of here alive?
And the lead sergeant has one dirty effing mouth. Dirtier than anyone in any Orbitz ad ever. He really should have cleaned it up. But it's realistic, and I mean, if I was under heavy fire, I'd be spewing racial remarks and cursing up a storm too. Also, it could be used to appeal to the Call of Duty and Battlefield crowd, though I think the game has much more in common with Brothers in Arms. Now, all jokes aside, I really did like the story. It was realistic, and I liked that it took the gritty war film approach. It's not like Call of Duty. This is a tactical, realistic shooter. It's much more like Black Hawk Down than Die Hard. If you enjoyed Black Hawk Down, The Hurt Locker, or Tears of the Sun, or any realistic war-style film, you'll definitely enjoy this. I liked that while the game's story was made up, it was also very close to reality, and did hit close to home as my father served a tour in Desert Storm. The game starts, like most shooters, with a short tutorial to get you up to speed on how to play the game. It's much better than being thrown headfirst into the fire. My ass hairs are still singed from Dragon Rising. The gameplay is also very different from other shooters. It's challenging and features a great body damage system. Limbs fly off, heads burst, and wounds form on soldiers. The shooting feels great and very realistic. The combat is a mix of extreme ranged shootouts and close quarters combat. Now, this game presents a much greater challenge than other shooters. For one, your health does not regen. You must patch yourself up and your team. However, you and your team are fully healed at each and every checkpoint, so if one of them dies, they are magically brought back to life, at least on the lower difficulty settings. The engagements can take place from around 100 to 400 yards. Other times, it takes place from just mere feet away. The combat overall feels really satisfying. Also, the game can be played with up to 3 other players. The game does not have any competitive multiplayer modes, it's all cooperative. You can play as a rifleman, a scout, a grenadier, or an autogunner. Also, you upgrade your soldiers' abilities and weapons, giving them scopes and other accessories and other perks, like you've seen in other recent modern shooters. The game does have a few faults, though. The graphics are rough at times, and the team AI can be slightly dumb. Though overall, it's still a really fun game, and definitely a nice change of pace from all the action movie style games out there. I really enjoyed the real military, realistic style that Red River brings. It's rough around the edges, but for the first time, I really felt like a soldier. Some of you may hate that during the missions you have to ride a Humvee to the zone, which provides some good dialogue, but it can also take upwards of 3 minutes. Though it's really no different than the loading screens from Call of Duty, and it does serve its purpose to move the story along. However, it would have been nice to have an option to skip them. For the first time, I felt like I was in a real war. I was scared, and I had a glimpse of what it was like to be a real soldier, fighting for his life and country. This is definitely the most realistic military shooter to date, and any war or military buff should definitely check it out. Overall, I really enjoyed Operation Flashpoint Red River. It was challenging, fun, and it's really satisfying blowing off someone's head or arm. Overall, I give Operation Flashpoint Red River a 4 out of 5. It's far more accessible than its predecessor, and if you want a greater challenge, turn the difficulty up a notch. There's something here for everyone. Are you on the fence about a game? You're not sure if you want to buy it? Why not check it out on Gamerang.com, the best gaming rental service on the internet. Thousands of titles at your disposal and great customer service. Try Gamerang.com today. You won't regret it.